Welcome to the Drop In with Pindi podcast from Warriors TMA Academy, a podcast for everyone from business inspirational leaders, combat sports enthusiasts, martial artists, and fitness fans. Together, we can build our self-discipline, confidence, and positive mindsets through great leaders. Now, here's your host, coach and former pro fighter, Pindi Butaja.
Hey, ladies and gents, thank you for logging on and seeing our new podcast here with the one and only Mergim Butaja, everyone. You might remember him from The Apprentice, BBC's Apprentice in 2015. We now have the honor of having him right here next to us in the studio to hear about the fascinating stories that this man has been through, what he's been through since The Apprentice, before The Apprentice, and more importantly, what he's been up to during the lockdown that we faced from 2020 and into 2021. Like, some of the things this man has achieved is unbelievable, and I can't wait to hear his story. Coming from Kosovo in 97 over to the UK as a kid to achieve what he's achieved is going to be fascinating to hear. But before we get started, I just need to say a massive congratulations, because this man less than 48 hours ago just had a new baby girl. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
How does it feel to be a father?
Amazing.
Oh,
amazing. Still hasn't hit home, but
yeah.
It's been so busy and I had the chance to really
Kind of
stare at her and just say, right, hello, daughter.
Fair play. Your wife and everyone all good?
Very good, yeah, all good.
Nah, that's good. That's really amazing news. Honestly, when you rang me this morning and I was thinking, oh man, you've had a baby girl, you're going to cancel. Honestly, and you're like, nah, straight in. That goes to show your mindset straight away.
No rest for the wicked, bro. You just got to keep on grinding.
For that. That's fucking awesome. Wicked. So, McGim, obviously, majority of people will probably recognize you and know you from BBC's Apprentice, sticking up shelves.
The good old shelves.
Sticking up shelves on The Apprentice. No, I'm joking. Sticking up shelves. But there's more to McGim than BBC's Apprentice, right?
Yeah.
There's obviously actions speak louder than words. We've seen what you've achieved after The Apprentice. We've seen with the companies you're running right now. It's unbelievable. But before we get into all of that, before we get into The Apprentice, let's hear about McGim before The Apprentice. Like, what drove you to become this business entrepreneur with the mindset you've got? And not many people know this, but we actually went to the same school.
Yeah.
We weren't in the same year or class or anything, but we went to the same school here in Coventry at President Kennedy. It's a fantastic school now, but when we were in when we were there, it wasn't even on the map. It was on another level.
It was a dump site.
Yeah, literally. So coming out of that to being like, this is what I want to be doing in the world. Where did all that come from? Let's hear about it.
So if we go back to 97, we fled the actual war in Kosovo.
Wow.
Now, at the time I was 6 years old, and you'd never want to leave the country that you were born in.
Yeah.
You're left with no option at the end of the day. That's why I can understand people from the Middle East that have been forced to flee their homes because of no options. Yeah. So at the time when the war was just occurring in Kosovo, I was the age of 6, I was witnessing certain things that most people don't experience in real life.
A normal 6-year-old doesn't even see.
And 6-year-old don't see. So, a couple examples, I've witnessed my auntie being sexually assaulted in front of me by the opposition.
Fucking hell.
So, a 6-year-old, that can be quite life-changing experience. And obviously, my uncle at the time wanting to protect his partner, him nearly being beaten to death. And that's just a small part of what's happened. And I remember running into fields with my parent, my old man holding me on his shoulders, running, bullets flying, and loads of madness. And there was about 3 or 4 months of just running, go from one country to another country, and then eventually get in the back of a lorry, come to England.
Fair play. Yeah.
And this is the motivation I use to continue where I am now. So it can either affect you mentally or use that to drive you forwards and channel that ambition.
So you're saying you obviously is spent running. You were getting into you got into basically the back of the lorry. Is that all of you, your whole family?
Yeah, at the time, yeah.
So you got siblings?
I got siblings, yeah.
And all of that. Fucking hell. So it's what happened then? So you were 6
I
at
was
the time,
6
yeah?
at the time,
You got to the UK.
Got to the UK, and
What's your earliest memory of it? Like, what can you remember from that point on?
so
What
I
was it?
remember like being in an actual lorry itself. It was on the ferry and you could hear dogs barking. Bear in mind, we're in the lorry, tucked in, and you can hear dogs barking. And my little brother decided to wake up, and he was probably 2 or 3 at the time.
Right.
My parents were forced to give the 3-year-old baby sleeping pills just so they don't get caught. Now, imagine as a parent, you're forcing your child to sleep in a moment where it's quite unfortunate position to find yourself in. Man. So I remember waking up as well and thinking what we're doing in this lorry, and my parents were like, just shush, we're gonna be out of here soon. So anyway, it was Dover. We came over to Dover, and I remember we went over to Maidstone Police Station. Said, right, we've just come off the back of a lorry. We fled Kosovo for the war. And one thing I could say is the welcome we had was unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's why the way we was welcomed with opened arms, I've got so much to give back to this country.
Fair play.
Because
that's beautiful to hear, man.
there's other countries are not going to accept people like that.
Yeah.
England took us on board, fed us, put us in a home. It was just a surreal experience. Those were the early stages. Then we ended up going to living in a B&B. And then obviously that's when we started. We had to apply for asylum as well. That was a process quite lengthy. I don't really know too much about it because I was quite young. Eventually we've got the asylum that we wanted. And that's when my dad literally had to start from scratch. And that's one thing that my old man said to me, and he sticks to me. I get quite emotional just by because these memories, I don't really speak on it too much, really. It's all I keep to myself. But there was a moment at the time when obviously came over to the UK, he said, my son, you witnessed what happened in Kosovo.
Yeah.
I sacrificed my family and to bring you over here.
Yeah.
Now, go out there and make something of yourself. That's it.
That was it.
Just go and make something of yourself. You're in the right country.
Yep.
All you need is attitude and drive. Go and do it. No excuses, no if, no buts.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Fair play.
And when shit hits the fan, I remind myself back then.
Yeah.
What happened in Kosovo, what my old man said, I can do it.
Perfect. That's perfect.
Do you know what I mean?
That's brilliant. No. Fuck, that's incredible. I've known you now I've known you properly now for what? 4 years? 5 years?
5, 6 years now.
Yeah. It's been that long. I've never heard that.
Yeah.
Do you got me? I didn't realize everything you went through. Do you got what I mean? Don't get me wrong. The nation probably heard it when you announced it on BBC's Apprentice, when you explaining to Lord Sugar about being in the refugee and all of that, but I didn't understand the actual
story behind
everything that you had to go through. That was wow. And like actually, you made a fair point. You can either go one way or the other.
Never,
Yeah, and which everyone will hear, but recently, yes, sometimes shit does hit the fan. But you got to keep reminding yourself of what your drive is, what's your purpose, and it all comes down like this is what one thing. I was saying in the previous podcast, and what I've said, me and you have had this conversation before as well. It's all about the right purpose, understanding your purpose of why you are here, and knowing what you need to be doing.
Exactly.
Right, and having the right mindset to do that. And like you keep touching on, you could have went one way or the other. But when was it then? Obviously, I know school years are school years. You're still a teenager. You're still a kid. But when was it where you're like, right, I don't want to go through not the educational system, but I don't want to go through being employed or working for someone, or you want to go down the business route. When did you realize that? Is that something that's kind of always been with you? Or is that something that's been after school? What was it?
It started probably secondary school back down south. It all started off where you could tell I was the unfortunate one and the unprivileged one in the group of friends I had. because everyone had better clothes than me. They had better footwear. They're the best of the best. And sometimes...
That was the era of Rockports, right?
Yeah.
Rockports. I didn't have a pair of Rockports. I had Rockfords, man.
Yeah.
That was it, man.
Literally, and I remember
that.
And I remember my parents bought me some silver trainers. They cost £5. I can remember to this day, £5. And people used to say to me, "Oh, they're amazing. How much did you buy them for?" So yeah, my parents spent £50 on them. And the next day, someone actually found the actual trainers in the shop, and they were £5. The next day they came into school, they're like, "Mergim, what are you lying for? They're only £5." Everyone's laughing at me. And that hit me real hard.
Yeah.
And I said, "You know what? Forget about it. I'll be bigger than them. Just give it time." And this just gave me motivation in life. And I saw everybody is much better educated. Their English was absolutely perfect. I was still learning the language, and I was unfortunate. It's okay. My time will come at the end of the day, because I reminded myself what my old man said to me. You've got opportunity of a lifetime. Go out there and grab it by both hands and run with it. So I was going through the experience of secondary school and etc. And then I started in the world of selling stuff at school.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Selling a few bibs and bobs here and there. A bit of a wheeler dealer sort of guy. And that's what I like doing. It was, honestly, money back then for me was everything. Because I saw how happy people were with money. We didn't have a pot to piss in.
True.
Because we're just trying to find our feet in this country where we have no family whatsoever. So it was all about me trying to make a few quid here, there, and everywhere at quite a young age. And I've never really liked school, to be honest with you. I was always the cheeky chap, always had the loud mouth on me, and that's how I really got friendly with people, because they like the personality and stuff like that. And it was business school, business studies.
Okay.
In PK, that made me realise, do you know what? This is what I want to do. I love it. That and football. Okay, I love football, but being a footballer is going to be it's quite difficult in itself. But it was one of the two.
One or the other.
Yeah.
One or the other. Did you go to after PK? Did you go to PK being our school, by the way, President Kennedy? But after that, did you go to sixth form, college, uni? What was it?
So basically, I left PK. I failed my GCSEs. The only I got a double B in business, and that was it.
Oh wow!
Everything I failed on, I didn't really care, to be honest with you. And then, but this is where the problem was. It's like when you leave at school. I don't know what it's like now, but back then there's no sort of guide. No one really sat to you and said, "Mergim, what do you want to be?
Yeah,
this is the steps you have to go forward." None of that. So we thought probably just go to college, do media studies, and then I ended up getting a part-time job at the Rico.
Oh, okay.
A part-time being a waiter and doing helping out in exhibitions. At that point, I just thought, forget school. I don't need it, because I was making quite a few quid. I was doing like 12-hour shifts sometimes at Rico. And I was like 16, 17 at the time. I just thought, no, I don't want education. I don't like it. This is the real world, and I need to graft as well.
Yeah.
So, and then 18, when I was 18 was, everything just switched. At the time when I was 18, I was earning £5 a month. That's because I have 4 or 5 different jobs. And at that time, my old man got made redundant. And I said to my old man, do you know what? Stop working.
Yeah.
I'll pay for the mortgage. I'll put food on the table. I'll pay for the bills. I'll do all of that. So from the age of 18 up until fairly recently, I was looking after my family.
Respect you.
Covering literally everything. A lot of pressure on my shoulders.
And I don't know many 18-year-olds that will do that, but no, respect you for that, man. That's huge. That is massive.
And for me, it felt like it had to be done because of the sacrifices my parents made. But I was in a position where I just loved the grind. I just loved waking up, feeling tired, but just getting on it and making money. By doing these 4 or 5 different jobs. But then I realised after that, life can't be just work. I need to start put some structure in my life. Where it's what career path do I want to go down? And I still didn't know what I wanted to do, but always had this visualization of me in a business suit. I'd be fascinated when I see people, grown blokes in business suits, on their laptops, in a petrol station or anywhere I'd see them. I'd be like, what job are they doing?
Yeah, you want.
I want to be in that. I want to be in a suit. It looks fascinating, like what they're doing. I didn't know what they were doing at all. I just saw them in the business suit, looking smart, looking fly. That's what I want to do. And then obviously I went from one job to another job to another job. And to be honest with you, I didn't really survive at jobs for too long. Yeah. Just because, one, I didn't like to be told what to do. Yeah. The money was great, but when the taxman got involved, the money wasn't great. Standard. And I just wanted to do things my way. Yeah. Probably in my early 20s, I probably was a little bit more arrogant than I should have been, but it's because of money. Money made me slightly arrogant because I was just chasing money. I didn't really care what people had to say to me. I had a lot of advice given to me. Mm-hmm. And my personality just grew, quite outgoing, bubbly. And when I went on The Apprentice...
How old were you at the
23, 24.
Wow.
So quite young. I was just in a way where I was just building myself up into quite mature adult, if I say.
So did you have a business before you went into The Apprentice?
Not an actual established business, but it was always making money. Okay. So I was quite lucky to have friends around me that we just love business. And we just get hands dirty in so many stuff. So we tried to set up a cafe, which was selling alcohol, delivering alcohol and selling, cleaning windows, and
just willing to graft. Willing to do anything.
Exactly.
Willing to do anything.
Anything, And it's free. It was just 3-4 of us, really, quite close group. And we just wanted to make money, do these little projects. And I wish there was a camera following us around at that time, because I remember one time a friend of mine, we asked him, we bought this bottle of cola. So basically what it was, Coca-Cola stopped selling 2-litre Coke bottles. They only, and then they were only selling 1.75. So we end up finding 2 litres of Coca-Cola, but they were in Asda. Don't know if I was to be selling this, but we want to go there and buy 200 bottles from Asda. And at this time I was at work, and the guys called me up and said, Mergim, they're not allowing us to buy 200 bottles of Coca-Cola because it's not virtually possible. I said, right, what I'll do, I'll write up a fake letter with a charity donating it, and I'll write it all up, signed it, made it all legit, and I said, right, I'm gonna email it over to you. You just show it to the manager at the time, and then you can give it to us. Guess what? It worked a treat. So we've got 200 bottles. We filled up the whole van full of Coca-Cola bottles, about 200-300 worth of those. And then we said to one of our mates, I think they cost us like £1 per bottle. And we were trying to sell them at £1.50.
Make 50p per bottle.
Yeah.
Why not?
And then my mate, his name's Errol, he's a funny guy. We said to him, go into the shop and try to sell some Coca-Cola bottles, but don't sell them less than £1 because that's the break-even cost for us. Try to get as close to £1.50. He goes in there, about 10 minutes, comes back out, absolutely buzzing. Lads, I got us a deal, blah, blah, blah. I said, oh, fantastic. How many bottles? 20 bottles. At what price? 87p.
Fuck. So you made a loss. Oh, fucking hell.
I was like, what are you doing? Fuck. I went ballistic. All of us going crazy. At the time, I'm laughing about it now.
Yeah, but at the time, I can
we
imagine.
were stressing.
Fucking hell, man. That is crazy.
So it was absolutely madness. So it's all these little episodes that were occurring. And that's why I wish there was a camera following us, because I would love to look back on there. Those 2 to 3 years with my boys, just trying to make something out of nothing. Hustle, and that has helped me become who I am now, because 100%. Of the experiences. And I wish YouTube was as big as what it was 8-9 years ago.
True.
Because obviously, if that was on YouTube right now, and
you would have the phones filming it.
Exactly. It'd be fantastic.
Why not?
So that's the only type of businesses we had. Obviously, I'll still be flogging stuff on the markets, etc.
So after that, you got into the Apprentice. Now I want to hear your mindset. Did you have a tactical plan of what the Apprentice is going to be like? Yes, we watched it on TV. We had an idea of an inkling of what it was going to be like. But for you to go into the Apprentice without a business, technically speaking, if you got into the final 5, what would you have presented?
So this is the funny
This is what I
thing.
want to get into your head now. I want to hear this.
The reality, I had to be quite realistic with
Yeah.
myself. I was never going to win The Apprentice. Never.
Fair enough.
So my mindset was to go in there,
Make it-
absorb all the information and the experience, and take it on board and go on from there. That
Right.
was it.
So that The Apprentice for you felt, in my head now, that's a stepping stone for you.
Stepping stone.
Right.
That's what it was
Okay,
for me.
okay.
But I had to deliver an important message.
Yeah.
My message was, regardless if you're from a disadvantaged background, you can still make something out yourself. That's the message I wanted to bring out.
Yeah, man.
That's what I can't. I didn't want to pretend to be somebody I'm not, because you find a lot of people in positions where they put a suit on or they put a jacket on and they switch character like that.
Yep.
People buy off people. I don't care what you say. People buy off people.
Yep. It's true.
And I wanted to make sure I show my true colors, just so I can inspire people. That was the objective: inspire people, give them some belief and hope. If I can get myself off a lorry
Yep.
onto The Apprentice, what's your excuse?
Why? Yeah. Yeah.
You
true,
could,
true,
trust
true.
me, you can do it. If I can, I'm a numpty and I'm able to do it.
100%.
I won't give you hope. So I treat that as an experience for me and go, like you say, as a stepping stone,
Absolutely.
and then move forward with life. But at the time, excuse me,
No worries.
the auditions, I knew I had. I'm quite lucky to have a bubbly personality where,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because
I think that's what everyone saw.
yeah,
That's what, when I was watching that particular season, everyone saw it.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? It was like you took. Yes, you were serious when you were on it, but you had a laugh with everyone.
Yeah.
You had a laugh. You said you were there having a laugh with Karen at the
Yeah.
time. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
same with Lord Sugar.
Lovely
That's
Karen.
what. Yeah, there you go. And same with Lord Sugar
Yeah.
as well. Do you get what I mean? I think that's what everyone saw. And I was thinking about this the other day. The Apprentice to me is great. It's a reality show,
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah.
but there's not many people where Lord Sugar will sack someone. I think it was last season or the season before. The guy that sells the pillows, Thomas, his name is.
yeah.
That when he sacked someone, he's like, stay in touch. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
in terms of that, in terms of behind the scenes of, because obviously you were there. What
Yeah.
was the reality of The Apprentice behind the scenes of everyone?
It's not what I expected.
Okay.
I think it depends on how you look at it. Let's not beat around the bush. The Apprentice
course.
is there for TV ratings.
Yeah,
That's
100%.
what it's there for.
Standard.
At the end of the day, obviously you get investment into a business, etc. However, The Apprentice is all about TV ratings. They want to get people talking about it. They want people. They will increase their viewers as much as they can.
Yeah.
So certain scenarios are set up for TV purposes,
course.
and obviously situations are manipulated just so because they want a story on that situation. And at that time, you really pretty much, as a candidate, you have to act like a politician.
Okay.
So you have to say the right things at the right
yeah, I was gonna
time,
say,
be in the right
emphasis.
scenario.
Yeah,
Yeah. And you really, it's a game plan.
Okay.
I walked in there with no game plan. I was young, free, flying. I just wanted to have a laugh and just learn, meet my idol.
Yeah.
That's what it was for me. But I didn't go there with a game plan. If I went in there now, I'll guarantee win. Because I've got the experience, I'm mature, I know exactly how
Could
it
you
works.
go in there now? Could you go in there now?
I don't think you're allowed to.
You're not allowed to do it twice.
Because you understand how the system works.
Ah, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah, I get you.
So there was a scene where it was the first week we got tasked to go and sell fish.
Yes.
And the producer said to me, you, Mergim, go into the shop and try sell fish. Guess what? I tried giving it the gift of the gab. All right, mate, you can have some fish. Guess what? He turns around and says, we're a vegan shop. Now, as a viewer, you think I went in there.
Not seeing it.
Yeah. But it was all set up from the producers, full well knowing it was a vegan shop. Who's a funny character? Mergim, we get him in there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's all setups,
It's all setups, yeah. It's all setups.
Because there's that famous scene. Obviously, there wasn't an Apprentice in 2020 because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
But they're showing the best bits, didn't they? Or they're showing the funniest bits of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Apprentice and
yeah,
stuff. And your scene came up again where you were in the shop. You guys got, I can't even remember what week that was of 2015, but you guys were in a shop You there sticking up shelves for display or something like that. I can't even remember what it was exactly. But the only one thing they shown was you trying to put the shelf up, but they don't. But nothing else was shown.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
again, just to try and get the ratings up, viewings up.
For that week that I was sat was DIY. That was, as much as it's funny, I damaged the wall and shelf and etc. The whole purpose of that task was to make money from nothing.
Right.
That's what I've been doing all my life.
There you go.
I wanted to be project manager.
Yeah.
But guess what? Lord Sugar chose the project manager.
I remember that. Yeah.
I wanted to be project. It's not about how well you can fix the shelf. It's about generating money.
Yeah.
And that's what I've done that from the very beginning.
From PK.
Yeah.
From back from school.
Even back then.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
That's
Make something out of nothing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And obviously the project manager at the time was coming up with ideas to do this, and that. And I'm thinking,
what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Yeah.
You ain't got Scooby-Doo, love. You ain't.
Yeah.
Why would I? So if you want to make 50 quid, why go in a poor area and say, oh, do you want your windows clean? You go to the wealthy area.
Yeah, exactly.
Get your bins clean, get your windows clean. They're the ones with the money.
Exactly.
Don't send me to a shop to do shelving, because what's the point? Don't get me a window cleaner on the shop. It's £5. And I've done window clean as well.
Yeah.
And I was just growing with frustration. I just thought, and then like on one of the, there was basically they gave you a list of big jobs to do. So you go and find the work, and then also there's some pre-planned big jobs like painting, decorating, etc.
Yeah.
Me personally was fighting to, on the last day, to have a big painting job, which is about, it was £1,000.
Okay.
And I said to the guys, we make the small money on day one, then on day two, we do the big job together.
Yeah.
And add that money together, boom.
We've won it.
We won it, yeah.
Yeah.
But the project manager at the time just didn't understand. She didn't understand. And that, for me, it's frustrating. And like, I was joking about it, etc. But inside of me, I knew exactly what I was doing. Pindi, I ain't got a Scooby-Doo about DIY. Honestly, like, even now, I struggle to put up a shelf. My missus asked me to put a shelf for last year. It's like a small shelf. Whack it into the wall. Drilling it, massive hole again. I got the Gorilla Glue. Tear down the paper, wallpaper.
Mate.
And I'm like, that's the last thing I want to do. I ain't got to Scooby about that.
She gave you a backhand.
Yeah, exactly, mate. She went on about a week, telling her parents he can't even put a shelf up.
Fucking hell.
But that's the
reality of the Apprentice.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why that task was made for me. And to be honest with you, it hurt me at the time because I still wasn't ready to go because I just wanted to show my skills.
For me, that's the standout of that season. When unfortunately you did get the sacking of that one. But I remember that speech you gave. You gave it. You put everything on the line, which is fair play to you. You put everything on the line. Fought again. Ratings.
Yeah.
But one thing that stood out for me, and I think that was the first time for me personally, because I've been watching Apprentice for years. So I love it. I just love the laugh.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You learn certain things from it, but I think it's great. But one thing that stood out for me was that was probably one of the first times I saw Lord Sugar turn around, sack someone, and say, "Keep in touch."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He's never done that.
Yeah.
He's always like, "Fuck off, see you later."
Yeah,
Do you know
exactly.
what I mean? Yeah. But he's turn around.
Honestly, Lord
What's
Sugar,
your relationship with him now?
He's a diamond geezer.
Yeah.
You can't beat it. He is who he is. Black or white. That's it.
That's
with him. Yeah.
There's
there's
no acting. There's none of that.
Acting. And I think that's what he liked about me because he gets people sucking up to him on a regular basis.
Literally.
And my mentality is, you shit and I shit, but your shit is more expensive.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's a reality.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And he liked the fact that I was this rough diamond.
Yeah.
And then he knows I'm a bit rough around the edges as well. And I can be molded into something because he saw a bit of him in me at the time. And that's why I think he liked communicating with me, because the week before I got fired, I done something and he was shocked by it. Because
I remember the week before, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't, not you, I don't think you were the project manager, but whatever team you were on, you won the task and you were the standout of the team. I remember that. That was the week before.
Because basically what it was we were selling we had to create this children's book. And then obviously try sell it.
Sell it on, yeah.
So at the time, I thought, right, we need to make as much money on here as possible. So we had to go and deliver this book to a group of children and teachers. I think it was a nursery. We had to read it to them to find out about their feedback, etc. And I thought, at the time, we're reading this book, and I'm thinking, there's money here.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, we're in a nursery, there's teachers and children and parents, and we've got a book that we're trying to sell. So after we read the book out, I was like, do you know what? Let me pitch it to them. And now we're selling books to them.
Perfect.
And that's why Lord Sugar was like, oh, you're an opportunist. And that's the way my brain works. If I can find a way of just making a few quid, I could jump on it straight away.
100%. That's awesome. Now, talking of going back to The Apprentice, 2015 was the year that I believe Mark Wright won it, right? Was it Mark Wright?
Was the year, I think year after.
Who's 2015 was that?
I think it was Mark that won it.
Mark, yeah.
2014, Mark won it, I think. And then Joseph, my year, won it.
Joseph, yeah. Sorry, that was it. Joseph. And Joseph, you in contact with Joseph?
Yeah, we still all chat to each other. We got a WhatsApp
There's
group.
one guy that decided in your year, in your
Scott.
season,
that
decided to quit.
Yeah.
Not quit, but walk off.
What
happened there? I'm sure.
From my understanding, he just didn't feel it was the right fit.
Fair enough.
It literally, like, if you're going to get into business with somebody, you need to make sure you're both singing off the same hymn sheet.
100%.
And he didn't feel right about the process. He didn't feel right comfortable. And it takes balls to do that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? To say, do you know what, I'm walking away. And now he's smashing it. Like, Scott, I speak to all the boys and they're doing fantastic. And the best thing about at The Apprentice is us lads. We've got a WhatsApp group. We meet on a regular basis. Obviously, because of lockdown, we haven't been able to.
Sure.
We're always asking each other for advice. And everyone's got their own business and we're doing business with each other.
Perfect.
Do you know what I mean?
That's brilliant.
That's the best thing that's ever come out of The Apprentice. It's just that group of people that you've met for life. Yeah. And the experience of The Apprentice, unless you've been part of it, you wouldn't understand the mind fuck of it and the problems of it and the excitement and the enjoyment. And we've been through that experience together, and to be in regular contact, speaking with each other, it's just priceless.
That's the best bit. The network, it's that famous quote, isn't it? The famous saying: "You want to succeed in life, you surround yourself with the same people with the same mindset, and you're gonna thrive. You don't want to, you're not gonna." Does that make sense? So it's great. I'm glad to hear that you're still in contact with everyone there. Now, moving on from 2015, The Apprentice, you've come out of it. You used it as a stepping stone.
Yeah.
Boom. Where did you now? The companies that you're now running?
Yeah. So I got sacked, went home.
As you do.
Yeah,
as you do.
You get fired. Story of my life.
Why not?
End up going home. And bearing in mind, Pindi, I've been living in this luxurious house in London, central London. It was the bee's knees. And I'm there in my living room thinking, I live in a tin house. Exactly. I've been living there for so many weeks. Of course. And then I'm like, it took about a couple of days, more than a few days, to realise, like, I'm at home. Do you know what I mean? And the business plan I had at the time was completely different to what I'm focusing on. At the time, my business plan was just a business plan to get onto The Apprentice.
Right.
It was an online comparison website. That's what it was.
Right.
And I wrote it up within a few days.
Fair enough.
I've never written a business plan in my life. So it took a lot of hard graft, and I hate writing.
I remember the first time I had to do a business plan. My first time I wrote up a business plan. I literally thought a business plan was one piece of A4 paper. That was it, jumped in. But when I properly looked into a proper business, when I first started my one up the second business I started up in 2016, and I properly wrote up a business plan.
Yeah.
It was weeks worth of work.
Yeah.
So, and that was like what? It turned out to be like 7-8 pages long, and it's like, wow. It takes a lot. It takes a lot of graft to learn just to do a business plan.
Mine's like, I'm glad I didn't get to the final 5.
Yeah.
Pindi, it was about 4 or 5 pages.
Wow.
Honestly, mate. Like, there was nothing on it. And I was
talking
thinking,
of business plans, this has got nothing to do with your one, but who's that guy? It stands out to me. He's in The Apprentice. He's with Claude. And he did a business plan, but it was all pictures.
Oh, that was Suleiman for a few years before,
My God,
mine would have been worse than that. Honestly, that
I'm
was
so glad you didn't get to the final 5, man. I'm so glad you didn't get to the final 5.
That's probably a blessing in disguise.
Can you imagine? But now, going back to it, sorry, I didn't want to go off track there. But yeah, you come off The Apprentice. Then what was it then? What made you
So
did your
basically, I
business
had to
plan?
realize what. So in my thought process, at the time, it was just surreal.
Yeah.
I was meeting Lord Sugar. Me and him were chatting, communicating, and I've gone through this experience task from being home. It hits you. You're on a downer, to be honest with you, because you was just on a buzz. Now you're like, fuck, what do I do? I didn't go in there with a business already.
Yeah.
I quit my job to go on the Apprentice.
Yeah.
It was a decent job as well. It was like $3,000 basic.
Wow.
And I just sacked it off. And let alone the commission on top of that, I just sacked it off. And then I thought, what do I do?
Yeah.
And then basically then I thought, right, I need to get a job. But this time, I want to do something that I believe I can add value, a passion. And passion for me is business.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd go and work for a company that specializes in selling businesses.
Fair enough.
And I was just the salesman there.
Okay.
So I'd go and visit a client who's thinking about selling their business. I would have to convince him to come on board with our agency.
Yeah.
And then we take it to market. And that was it.
Fair play.
That was my job.
That's awesome.
Done that for 3 to 4 months. And then there was a friend that I got quite close with somebody at that job, and we decided to say, right, let's just
Bite the bullet now.
bite the bullet. Let's go in business together. Me and him got on like a house on fire.
Brilliant.
Literally, it was 2 brains coming together, which will
Yeah.
just makes fantastic partnership.
Of course.
And because The Apprentice was due to be aired in a couple of months, we thought, you know what? We could get some publicity on the back of it.
100%.
Happy days.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We
Great
could get our own
marketing
clients.
tools.
Yeah.
Great marketing.
But you would have to remember, he's been in the industry for such a long time.
Right.
I think he's been in the industry for about 4 or 5 years. So even longer than that, I think. Yeah, much more than 5 years from what you were saying. And then, we set this business up, and we start without a single penny. Without a single penny.
Nothing went into it.
Nothing
Wow.
went in.
Wow.
Nothing at all. He's never sold a business because he was just a salesman.
Right.
I've never sold a business because I'm just a
You're the
salesman.
salesman.
I'm there just to bring the business on board.
Right.
I never screamed about selling the company. So we had to find some money. I quit my job, got my last paycheck.
Yep.
That was it. And then my brothers at the time, he was actually working. My dad got back into deployment. And they said to me, Mergim, you've looked after us for so many years. Now you do what you need to do.
Fair play.
We will support
That's
you.
awesome. That's
And I was like, no, that pressure on your shoulders was,
it's like,
I don't need to pay for
100
nothing.
kilos just lifted off your back.
Gone.
Brilliant.
So all that sacrifice I made,
Yep.
now that's going to be returned. Wow. And I thought, right, happy day sorted. So I'm there, literally on Google, looking at different businesses.
Okay.
Picking up the phone, calling. Then I paid a company for a list of businesses, etc.
Okay.
Cool. Boom. Got one meeting with a client. And then he actually ended up paying us money to sell his business.
Okay.
And we used that initial $5,000 to build the business from there on.
So when this client that you got, the one
Yeah.
client you got first,
Yeah.
he paid you up front.
He paid me up front to market his business.
Yep.
And we used that money to build the business to go going forward.
Great.
Everything
A
was
blessing in disguise. A blessing in disguise. 100%.
And I asked him, we was up against established businesses. And I said, why are you giving me this money, not somebody else? They've got the team, they've got the experience, they've got this. He goes, Mergim, I'm not giving your company, I'm giving it to you. I believe in you. You are going to help me. It's you I'm investing in. And I was like, wow.
Wow.
I was like,
that's awesome.
yeah.
That's a compliment right
Yeah.
there. Do you get what I mean?
Exactly.
Having that belief in you
Yeah.
to achieve.
Exactly.
Awesome.
And then we took it on board, the business, and then I had to learn how to sell a business, research it. It was just months of just learning. And then The Apprentice came on.
Right.
It was just a surreal experience because there's the big, massive hype of The Apprentice. And my business is picking up. I'm trying to juggle these two. I'm being invited to red carpet events, free dinners here, go over here, public speaking, get paid a couple of grand to do public speaking, take my whole day out. And then the business obviously was growing. It needed my attention because my business partner at the time couldn't focus on it.
And a lot of people said they needed you.
And they needed me, exactly. And it was just trying to juggle everything at once. And at the time I was 24, I just didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
Because I didn't prepare myself for this.
You didn't realize the reaction of
the Apprentice,
of the nation almost.
Yeah, exactly. And
after The Apprentice, or during The Apprentice.
It was during The Apprentice, and the biggest hype with me was once I got fired, because I had people turning up my house, like journalists wanted to speak to me, and I had people messaging me. It was crazy. I didn't know how to handle it, Pindi.
Wow.
Honestly, I swear to God, bro, it was scary. My message got out there. I was so proud. Inspired so many people. But I didn't have no one near me or close by to guide me through that.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I could have done so much more.
Do you think, obviously, what were you saying you were? 24?
Yeah.
24. So I'm right in saying at the age of 24, you're still young, but you've got a business that's taken off. You're now almost, a celebrity in the nation. After watching the BBC's Apprentice. You just didn't understand how to manage everything at the time.
Yeah.
Like there's a massive saying in that, isn't there? That's like, it's important that no matter how busy you are, you got to manage your time correctly. You got to manage your days. You got to set like right now for me, my routine is the Sunday night is my busiest time because that's my planning.
Yeah.
Does that make sense for the whole week ahead? And at that time, 24, you don't really be thinking like that, right? So
exactly.
It's kind of like trying to juggle everything in two hands. So you got the hype of The Apprentice. You got the hype of the business. How did you manage after that? What happened after that?
I had to make a decision. The hype of The Apprentice is temporary, but the business is forever.
True.
Step away from that and grab the business. So I just went all at it.
Brilliant.
I went all at it on the business. But then later on, I realised I could have done so much more with The Apprentice stuff. Now, if I had the business and the Apprentice stuff, I'll be able to manage it effectively, both of them, because of the experience I've got now.
Yeah, and the age you're
and the age.
Yeah, and just you're wiser now.
Yeah.
But linked with that, because there's a lot of apprentice candidates that aren't necessarily the winners, but they're doing fucking awesome.
Yeah.
They're doing awesome. Like without sounding sad, but I follow a lot of the guys on Twitter, right? Just as you do, right? But a lot of them are doing real well. They didn't necessarily win it, but they're doing quite well. Yeah, they're probably doing better than the winners. And on top of that, they don't have to give a percentage to Lord Sugar about it. Do you get what I mean? So
that's the best part about it.
I think that's why maybe that's not the only reason, but I think what they've done is they've used everything that they've achieved on The Apprentice. Doesn't matter what week they got to, but they've used everything of that. And boom,
just ran with
it. Ran with it, literally ran with it.
And that's what you tend to find, to be honest with you, because you would ultimately you want to win The Apprentice, but because you failed in that, you learn you take on the experience, and then you just grow with it, and then you do your own into the own adventure of yourself, really.
Are you linked with that? Are you still in contact with Lord Sugar?
To be fair, we exchanged messages on a rare occasion, not as much as we did in the first stage, but because now.
And does he respond? Like I'm not saying just because I know only recently when I was watching the one with the what's his name, Tommy Skinner, whatever his name, but like I know he's doing awesome.
Yeah, he's doing
if you anyone that follows him on Twitter,
he was smart. He used Apprentice and merged his business together.
Yeah,
that is the smartest thing you could do.
Awesome. I think who won it that year?
I didn't even watch that year, but I know Tommy because of what I see on social media.
The baker. What's the name?
Oh yeah.
Was it the baker, the one that's opened up a cake shop?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I remember now. Yeah.
Yeah, but like from what I again, don't know the figures, but from what I can see, is he's doing fucking awesome. Like I'm seeing him on Twitter. He's making deals left, right, and center. There's one of even during lockdown, he's making deals left, right, and center.
Yeah.
So it's great to see, man. And you know what? I think off the back of that, like with the businesses that you've started off since then as well, man. I'll keep wishing you all the best with it. But not everything's high and flying.
Yeah.
Not everything's all, hunky
bells and
dory
whistles,
as you can as it makes that to be. Like this next part that I'm going to ask you, I know it's a tough time in your life, and me personally makes me angry, emotional, and all sorts. But you went through. I remember meeting you randomly at Starbucks at Rico. Remember?
Yeah.
Randomly, I was with my wife. I was just grabbing Starbucks, and I saw you. I was like, "Oh, again." We had a little catch up, and you were just. I know you weren't there because.
Yeah.
There's a time you were getting married. That's right.
Around that time when I lost everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not down to you, but
Yeah, it was out of my control. Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously the business partner I had at the time.
Yeah, the one that you started
You
with.
started
business
with,
going, business going great.
yeah.
Turnover was
It was
X amount.
Yeah.
It was going real good for you. And then you decided to get married, and then
Yeah. The problem I had, it wasn't necessarily the marriage side of things.
No, of
it
course.
was the business partner. We fell out of love with each other.
Was this before you went? Because you went back. You went back. Where did you get married again? Was it
In Kosovo back? Yeah. That's
you
where
went
my
back
missus.
home? Yeah, you went back home to get married.
Yeah.
So before you went, things were hunky dory still.
So
things were running
basically,
well.
like,
What happened?
Me and the missus met.
Yeah.
I had this lavish lifestyle, had this money coming in, and
You were comfortable.
I was comfortable, and I was living in a daydream because my business was doing X amount of money, comfortable. I was living the high life. Met a woman that I absolutely adored, and I could give her the wedding that she's always wanted, and all that fancy stuff. And then my business just went whoop, and that was out of my control. It obviously, at the time, me and my business partner decided to part ways.
Okay.
For various different reasons, and the money in the bank account is gone.
He went off with it.
Yeah.
He went off with it.
And there was debts here, there, everywhere. And it was for me to recoup, to pay off. I didn't realise.
Where is his business partner now?
I don't know.
No one knows.
No one knows. But everything happens for a reason. Pindi.
Absolutely.
Everything happens for a reason. I learned so much off him.
Yeah.
I learned a lot off him. He helped me become the person also I am today. I don't hate him. I thank him for giving me the opportunity. Of course, Pindi.
Wow. That
Even
takes a
though
lot.
I was a rock bottom to the point where
Yeah.
I can't say suicidal because I never allow myself to get to that point.
To that, yeah.
I was rock bottom, just about to get married, and I've got nothing now. He absolutely annihilated me by him doing what he's done.
Yeah.
There's debts here, there, and I didn't know anything about this. This is the problem when you get into business with somebody. Can you really trust them? I'll never get into business with anyone else unless I really know them deep inside, done my due diligence and whatnot. But I thank him for choosing me as a business partner to set a company up in what I specialize in today. I learned off him what I needed to learn, but I also studied the industry over the years. If it weren't because of him introducing me to the industry, I wouldn't have IBA Corporate today.
There you go. And that goes to show your character as well.
Yeah.
That goes to show you, Mergim, who you are, to forgive someone, which is important to forgive, but to forgive an ex-partner like that who basically, polite way of putting it, fucked you over.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically,
Exactly, that's what happened.
Obviously, back then, business flying, that happened. You got married. You've come back to the UK. How did you start IBA back up again? What happened there?
Start from scratch again.
Literally from scratch.
My objective.
You by yourself now? Like, in the sense you've written it all solely yourself?
Purely by myself. Myself. And so, whilst I was getting married, I set up the business from scratch again anyway. Grinding with that and doing what I needed to do. And I was just being positive about it. Because in our culture, it's quite expensive to get married.
Trust me. Yeah. It's the Asian thing. We have to invite 300 people that we've never met in our lives. So I get it. I feel your pain.
And every penny I was making, I had to use for the wedding and the marriage and the whole ceremony and all that nonsense. So every penny I was making was investing into that.
Back into that.
And then, thankfully, everything was sweet. She came over to the UK, and then I thought, right, time to focus purely on IBA Corporate. And I've just been, ever since then, I've just been motivated and just grinding with it, and I still have it today. And that IBA corporate, to me, I love my daughter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
But my big love is my business.
Yeah.
Because of the journey from in Kosovo, witnessing my auntie being sexually harassed.
Yeah.
From everything in between to having IBA corporate and my other ventures as well.
Yes, of course.
It's helped me become the person I am today. And there's no excuses in life whatsoever. There's people out there with much deeper stories and etc. And one thing that we'll always say,
I don't think that
crack on.
Yeah, I don't think it gets deeper than yours, bro. Running away from fucking bullets flying as a kid. It doesn't get any worse than that, bro. So I respect you for that. Now, in 2020, the whole nation faced the pandemic. Now, a lot of people, obviously, you know, it was new to everyone.
Yeah.
You decided to have that positive attitude, like you always do, that mindset that let's start something new.
Yeah.
You ended up going through a pandemic and opening up your own business, another business. Yeah. Okay, let's hear about that. So where did that idea come from? Why, after everything going successfully, after the rebuild of IBA, the nation's facing a pandemic, Mergim, let's open up another business. Yeah. Boom, where did that come from?
When the pandemic started, everyone was scared.
Yeah.
Everyone. And if you weren't scared or concerned, you're not human, because this is a once-in-a-lifetime scenario. We've made it into the history books.
Yeah.
But I'm there, listen to all these conspiracy theorists and listen to the politics and blah, blah, blah. And then I just sat back and thought, how can I benefit from this? I know it sounds bad, Pindi. I know it sounds cruel. There's people dying out there.
Yeah. No.
But there's always an opportunity to make money.
Of course.
There's always an opportunity.
Yeah.
And I thought, right, my missus keeps moaning at me that I'm always working, don't spend any time with her. Okay then. All right, sweetheart. Sat her down. I was like, this pandemic, there's a lockdown now. I think at the time was summertime.
Okay.
It came
so
out.
Was this after the announcement where Boris Johnson said, go to work, but don't go to work?
Yeah.
That one, yeah?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, the famous one.
We was in the summer, and I was thinking to myself, there's going to be another lockdown in the winter. There is.
Yeah. There's bound
to be, because the winter's the flu season.
Yeah.
So how can I make money in the back of it?
At the time, the vaccine wasn't around.
The vaccine wasn't around whatsoever.
Yeah, of course.
And obviously, my missus kept moaning, you're always working. Because with IBA, I had to work extra hard because of the pandemic. I've got these businesses on my books.
Yeah.
That we're in the process of selling, but because everyone's so scared of the pandemic, they weren't buying. And that just, we were so close, the multi-million-pound companies, etc. And it was gold. But they were a standstill.
Yeah.
And obviously, I sat down the missus. I was like, listen, sweetheart, let's talk about what we can do about earning money. Obviously, there's money in the bank for IBA.
Yeah.
But we need to keep that safe there, just in case anything occurs. I'm not going to take any new clients. I'm just going to see exactly what's happening, managing the existing clients I've got at the moment. I need another income in. And so we can maximize on the opportunity of the pandemic. And I said, you obviously moaning at me. I'm always working. Let's do something together in the evening. And she's like, probably thinking like, cuddle up on the sofa,
watch Coronation Street. Oh man,
literally. And then I said, right, let's open a dessert shop.
Perfect.
And she was like, why are you always talking about business? I said, it's not about business. It's about spending time together. Anyway, it took a couple of days to get around, and she decided, let's do it, because I knew truly well there's going to be a lockdown in December. People love hot food. People will be sitting at home. Guess what? They're going to be ordering. So throughout the whole summer, we set up this dessert shop in Eton called Dessert House. And we officially opened it in October. And that's just been going boom, 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 boom. Brilliant. And the reason why it's successful is because I've been able to apply the experience from
everything
and IBA and service-based business into catering.
Brilliant.
And I've been fortunate enough to get the right people on board, because with a business like that, you need the right team around you. Because I'm not going to be there. I don't do none of the cooking. I don't have a clue. But all I know is just how to bring the people in. and make sure the product is the finest desserts.
course.
Dessert, yeah, but you can add that little
That
vavavoom.
one, yeah,
That I keep
yeah.
saying to my staff, add that vavavoom.
Yeah.
And then get them on side. That is, we work together as a team.
100%.
Because we work together as a team, there's going to be more orders, more shifts, more money. It's just a vicious cycle going round.
Yeah, why not?
So I managed to get the right team on board, and he's just been flying.
Brilliant. I'm
Literally,
so
he's
glad
been
to hear
flying,
that,
and
man.
that obviously that income comes in,
Yeah.
and it's been great.
No, I'm happy
and
to hear
that
that.
just
That's good, man.
it's
That's-
good to know that I still got it in me. I don't get lazy with IBA, and
course.
do you know what I mean? It's been good, like starting something again from scratch. You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. Now, moving forward we're now in 2021, going 2022's next year. Is there any plans for any more ventures, any exciting
Yeah.
ventures? What can the audience hear it, or is that a secret?
Nah,
No, what-
my ultimate goal is continue what I'm doing with these businesses, etc. And ultimately, I want to set my own investment company,
Okay.
so I can go into deprived areas and people who are from a disadvantaged backgrounds who want to be business owners or have the
Yeah.
ambition, and I'm there helping them where I can hopefully, if I carry on doing what I'm doing, I'm in a position where I can invest in people's businesses, use guide them through the world of business, etc. That's my next goal. I don't know.
Perfect.
It's not going to happen this year.
Linked with that. Sorry to interrupt. We're linked with that. Do you believe? Because I've got this massive belief as well, and I've got a few like a couple of my nephews and stuff as well, and I try and say the same thing to them. But do you believe if you had the guide that you have now in terms of what would have happened in school, not necessarily in school, but
Yeah.
after school, of someone turning around and saying to you X, Y, and Z, this is what you need to do. Yeah, if you want to go down the business route, this is what you need to do. It sounds like that's what you're now wanting to do in this investment company. Is that right? Yeah,
Exactly
Is
that.
yeah, and I think that's, and obviously you got a daughter now, you're a father, so you know what. Obviously, it feels like to be a parent. I know it's still quite fresh because it's only literally 48 hours, but still,
Still daddy.
still daddy, still daddy. But moving forward, like in terms of that, you've got the educational system, then you got the entrepreneurial. So
Yeah.
what would you be advising more as a father now, as a parent?
This is
It's a catch-22.
It's a catch-22 because my missus, she's well educated.
Yes, I mean,
she's an accountant, etc. She's all about education. Where I am on the opposite side. Don't worry about education.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so it's trying to find the right balance, because the problem in today's world is people going to university paying tens of thousands of pounds for a course you don't even need.
And you don't
And
get.
it pisses me off, Pindi.
Yeah, 100%.
You're getting brainwashed into a system where you've been told, oh, you need to pay this amount of money for this course, and guess what? You're not going to use it for what you're going to do.
You get the degree, you're
Yeah.
in debt,
Yeah,
and you don't get the job.
you don't get the job.
Madness.
And that's what frustrates me. And if I can just speak to the young people, this is what you do.
Yeah.
Oh, before Pindi, it was about money. I've realised, money's not everything. Good health and happiness is the most important thing in life. Everyone's healthy, especially the pandemics made you realise that. But I kind of knew it anyway. But because obviously what's happened before is all about money, and then over time I realised it's not about money. It's just setting goals.
Yes.
Goals is what you want to go for, not money goals. Because money, you just get greedy. It's never ending.
Yeah.
Money's never ending. You always want more, and then you could just. What's the point?
Yeah. No, it makes perfect sense.
And the problem is a lot of kids today, they just got the wrong influences around them.
It's true. It's true.
And for
This is
me,
the
it
frustrating
hits
thing.
home.
And this is why I know it's sincere. I've said it from day one, and this is why I'm so glad I'm doing these podcasts, because I want to get the right message across to everyone.
Yeah.
It's for everyone, these podcasts, but especially youngsters, if you're listening out there, and you want to go down the right path, it's really important that you listen to people like Mergim, like good influences in life, people that have obviously gone through the struggles that you've gone through the rough times. You've had the up times obviously previously as well, but you've had since then down times, and now look where you are. Got multiple business, yet waiting to start another one as well. So Mergim, is there anything that you want to let the listeners know? Is there anything advice that you'd be wanting to give them? Put you on the spot, bro.
There's so much I can say.
Yeah.
But one thing in life you got to realize is there's no guarantee you're going to be awake tomorrow.
True. Especially what this year's taught us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So live every day as is your last. Make the nearest person to you smile. A smile can go a long way. There's a lot of people affected mentally by what's going on. So if you can change someone's happiness for the good, and you can send out positive energy, and most importantly, believe in yourself. Don't allow the negative energy in the world that we're living in affect your dreams, your goals, your ambitions. If you're from a disadvantaged background, please believe me, you can make it. I haven't made it, Pindi. There's goals I've set myself, I still haven't achieved, and it's going to take a bit of time. But I haven't made it. I just want people to understand setting small goals gives you that energy and drive to exceed on the big goal.
Makes sense. Yeah, that's
and a lot of people just, I see it with my little sister with social media, on their phones doing this. I've got her working at my shop now.
Perfect.
I'll give her money as well.
Yeah, do it. Yeah,
I want her to understand what real work is. And I just want all the listeners to understand, just believe in yourself, be positive, have good energy around you, and just smile and be happy. Because tomorrow, it's no guarantee you'll be alive.
Nah, that's awesome, Mergim. Thank you so much for spending time with us today. Mergim, where can the audience at home and the listeners find you on social media? Can you just let everyone know your social media platforms?
Yeah, I'm on social media, but I don't know very active. I ain't got time for it.
Man. Yeah, true say.
So yeah, Mergim Butaja on all my socials. Twitter.
Guys, you'll find the link here on the video as well. On Twitter as well, yeah.
I'm on Twitter as well. The last time I tweeted was probably about a year ago or something.
Fair enough. Still follow him, though.
Yes, still follow him.
No, Mergim, it's been an absolute pleasure, sir. Thank you
so
so much for coming down here at Warriors TMA Academy in Coventry for the podcast today. And we'll look forward to seeing you again, maybe in a couple of months' time, seeing you progressing there.
Yeah,
okay?
perfect.
Thank you again, brother.
Thanks for having me.